Hey,
What was you saying?
about 4 hours.
He just-
We said we was going to get started, but Bryce is off work. Ted is ready, and let's talk about their match. So, in the last month or so, it's been a lot of. I'm just going to use a little vulgarity here. We try to stay away from it, but a little shit talking in our group that's going to be in Fall Brawl, all the participants and the referees, and the two biggest voices, maybe up until today, but the two biggest voices so far has been these two, Bryce Meadows and Ted Shimonicki. Fellas, welcome to Silverback Talks. You're no stranger to it, Ted. Bryce, I think this is your first time, right?
This is definitely my first time.
Yep.
oh, thank you, thank you.
I'm not the type to typically stir anything up or get anything started. That's not really me, not my style. But I think I am today. Ted took to the social media. Was that last? It was yesterday, right? Ted, you went to it first, and
Well,
it's
no,
probably
actually, no. Danny Atkins had put out a video
right.
of them training,
That's
and
right.
Bryce, he asked Bryce about his matches coming up in Fall Brawl, and Bryce was talking about the Trey match, his left-handed match, and this, that, and the other thing, and then he's like, "Yeah, and the right match with TJ, I already got that one, so I really don't care." And I was just like, "Wow." I was like, that's something. Like, I mean, I get it that he's the favorite, and I haven't changed my viewpoint on that. I get all of that, but one thing that I was taught very, very young in life is never underestimate your opponent in any way, shape, or form. And for you to just look past me, it's a very, very, you do that at your own peril. You really do. You do that at your own peril. It's not like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, you're the favorite, and that's not shit talking. Matter of fact, I went to a Chinese fortune teller today just to make sure that I was right. And she looked at me and said, "Oh, you so stupid. He gonna kill you. He gonna drill you 3 times. It's gonna be over." So I was
That's
like, I got
about
it.
right.
Yeah. I mean, it's but just because you're the favorite doesn't mean that you're just gonna breeze right through.
No,
So
it definitely don't. It definitely don't. But the whole thing that kind of made me jump into that and say that is all the oh, I'm old and weak.
I
But
am.
but come on now, let's be
I
honest. We
am.
know you're not old. We know you're not weak.
Well, I'm
You're
45. You're 20 something. I got
oh
kids your
hell.
age. I got
Listen,
kids your age.
I know, but with age comes experience, and
Well,
we
yeah, but I've
know.
only been pulling for 3.5 and change.
And I've only been pulling for one.
Right. And you are 20 something years old and fucking cock diesel and yada, yada, yada. And just like I keep saying,
Listen, I may be whatever you want to say there, cock diesel, whatever, whatever. But it comes down to this: is that you haven't gave up that little sliver you got of, oh well, you're the favorite, but, and that but is what kind of brings me into it. It kind of shocks me. It kind of makes me want to get to the talk, and I'm like, okay, so this guy's a little bit of life in him, and I'm wanting to make sure that there's nothing left
no,
at
I
this
got
match,
you.
man.
I got you.
Like honestly, this is
Yeah.
the best match I've ever seen in my life for me. It's hype as could be. I love it. There's no match I want to pull more than this one, solely for one reason. Not
Mhm.
because, of who you are, who I am, and what this match is, but for what we've made it. From talking,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
most technical person you've went against yet, Bryce. I think, correct?
do what?
This is probably the best hand you've went against.
That's another thing. For you to say your hand is out of this game, I've never felt you. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for you to say that, I've pulled a lot of people, man. I
No, I
have.
get that. I get that. And I know that came across as cocky or arrogant, but like when I have the exact same dimensions as Devin Larrett, okay, like literally hand to hand, we've measured. Devin and I have measured.
Mhm.
It's the exact same dimensions. And I know I've pulled, I would have to assume more than you because I've been in the game,
Oh yeah.
right. So I'm just making calculated assumptions. I've pulled, let's say, twice as many people as you, being conservative because of the fact that I've actually been in the game for 3 times longer than you.
Yeah.
So I've pulled 2 times as many people as you, and I've never come across another hand like mine. I've never come across another style like mine. So if I'm making that calculation and I've pulled twice as many people as you, again, being conservative, I think I'm safe to say that you haven't come across that either.
Okay. So from what you just said, how does this line up any which way to make me the favorite? Double the time, triple the time. bigger hand, more technical. That you claim, everybody says, which I think I'm very technical.
Oh no,
Hopefully
you
people
are.
will
You
agree.
are. Oh no, you're
Hopefully people
very
will agree
technical.
soon.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
you're
back to
very
what I'm
technical.
saying,
Yeah.
and age and experience, man. I mean, you got the better partners to train with. Let's not say you don't. I mean, God, look at
But
Levi.
wait a second, you're training with fucking Jacob Green and what is
say,
it, Colson? I mean,
Listen,
come on.
they
Come
are
on.
great. I love them to death. They're studs. But
Yeah.
you have more options. You have more variety. You have different
I
styles.
look, look, no bullshit, no bullshit. I think I have access to, if not the one of the most technical teams in North Carolina.
That's
Okay,
what I'm saying.
that's yeah. But as far as raw horsepower, you're probably training with equal, if not better, as far as that goes.
agreed.
Yeah, Levi would probably be y'all's top horsepower guy around that area.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Nick can still beat him in a hook, and that kind of stuff. And but I mean,
Nick
Levi,
Johnson can hit him in a hook.
yeah, Nick Johnson can still, yeah.
Levi in a hook.
Yes.
Wow.
Nick Johnson is something that you guys just like. He's another level.
Oh, I know he's good.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
giving him credit. He's got all the credit in the book.
Yeah.
I'm just, with how Levi is, that's surprising to me.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about as far as like I agree with Ted in this aspect. It's like you've got Green, Colson. When Voodoo shows up, you've got another hand.
Oh yeah, Voodoo too. That's a very technical guy. Yeah.
Huge hand, big hand like yours. That's what I was referring to.
Yeah. So it's yeah, no, and Voodoo's got a huge, one of the thickest palm and thumbs I've ever felt. It's
yeah, and I mean, and I went to Nick and I asked him about Voodoo because Nick has pulled Voodoo, and obviously he knows me inside and out, and he said that Voodoo's hand is nothing like mine. So,
well, see, if your hand is this caliber, this level, I mean, I don't see.
I mean, that's no bullshit. Like,
I don't see any way that I should be labeled the favorite. Any way I should be, oh, this guy's a 90-10 ratio favorite. Man,
no, I would say that you're,
because I'm jumping up to the boat of a huge 40, huge bigger guy, even though we're going to weigh close to the same. I'm jumping up to a guy.
You might be heavier than me, big guy. You might be heavier than me.
I'm 230s right now, and I promise you I won't gain much more weight.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm probably going to be mid 230s the day of.
Right? Yeah, so it's probably weigh the same.
Yeah.
It's
so
possible.
I mean, that's what I was saying. Like, we're going to be the same, if not you being a little bit bigger, depending. So because I didn't know if you were going to continue bulking or not. You know what I mean? And so I had no idea.
So one important question, Bryce, are you? Ted is. He's got a ranking match today. He's got a ranked match was it January at Camel City?
Yeah, January against Delfino. Yep.
So he said he's not going to pull your press. You're going to keep your press out that day. Are you going to go to a press? Because I mean, it's a big deal. Because Ted's been very vocal and said he will lay down to the press because he don't want to risk getting hurt.
That's another thing that people don't get is that's just part of the game. You don't want to do it because the risk. I understand that it's his call, but he's just taking a lane from me. So
well, no, and listen, and I've been very vocal about the fact that you've been very respectful about that, and I wasn't trying to take anything away from you as far as that goes. And the only time that I don't want to have a press happen is off the go, like because I already know what you do. I've seen the way you pull. If you can get me open, you're going to jump on a press, and I'm fine with that because by then I'm already loaded up. I'm good. It's the go that can really damage the bicep. And I know this from experience because of the fact that there's a guy that I train with. His name is Dan Coral. He's on my team. And he's formerly, like, he was very, very good out in the West and all of that stuff. He's been pulling for about 25 years. And his move is a shoulder roll / press. And coming up in this team, I used to pull him a lot. And he originally tore my bicep. Ooh. And then when I don't mean a tendon, but like that brachialis and all that, you can actually see it. I don't know how good the camera is, but you can actually see it. There's two lumps right there. So one's the bottom of the bicep and one is the injury from where the brachialis separated from the bicep. Okay. All right. Like on my left, everything is nice and attached. On this, it's separated. So Nelly re-ripped it in September of last year. Okay. So I've healed up quite well. I've beat pork chops since. So, I mean, I know it can handle weight. I know it can handle, stress. So, I mean, I feel good. It doesn't bother me as much anymore or anything like that. So no excuses there. But the thing is because of the fact that obviously, and this isn't saying that you're worthless or anything like that, but obviously the ranking match is going to mean more to me in my state than pulling you.
Now
So
you
that's the only reason why I'm not going to basically try to catch a fucking a press off the go and risk my bicep, because then I risk being out of a match that I've set up 3 times now
what
for me and Delfino.
Ted, I want to go back to you have beat pork chop. Now, I have a hard time believing Bryce's power can match with pork chops. Speed,
Yeah.
yeah, but power, raw strength, I just don't. I can't imagine.
No, and that's the thing. Like, and again, not talking shit. Raw power, I don't see how Bryce could match pork chop, but this is where the difference is, right? And again, I'm not. Maybe I'm not good at this trash talking shit because I'm giving you more compliments than you think you deserve. Um, he's a much more polished and refined arm wrestler, even at a year in, than pork chop was at however many years he's in. Okay. And that is the God's honest truth. Pork chop's got one lane only, straight sideways, cup go.
Side
Right.
pressure.
And you are literally handing me a fucking steak if you do that. If you go completely sideways and just try to cut me, you have handed me a filet mignon, and thank you very much. So all it was me being able to stop him. If I can stop him with my pronation up, I knew I could beat him. And that was it. Once I stopped him with my pronation intact, I knew I had him. It was just a matter of when. Now, don't get me wrong, that match put me to the fucking red line like I've never been. And I'm sorry I'm using so much profanity, Alan. I know you don't like it, but that's just the way I talk. He pushed me to the red line to the point where I didn't have sight or breathing basically for about 5 minutes. Like I couldn't see straight. I couldn't breathe straight. Everything felt like I tore it, so that was the most I've ever been pushed in a match. Because his side pressure was probably damn near 160 or more. The guy can bench 500 plus. He can wrist curl 200 plus. So, I mean, the guy's powerful.
But we got to mention this. If you're talking about raw power, I also did just beat a guy, both arms, at one of Alan Vaughn's events that presses 500 pounds. I mean, let's get that out there. Hunter Welch. Welch, one last name. Hunter Ayers. Hunter Ayers.
Okay.
Both arms.
Yeah, Hunter.
Well, again, I'm not saying that you couldn't beat pork chop or me, right? I'm saying that you would beat him the same way I would on technique, not raw power. I believe that. I know you got to remember he also weighs 100 pounds more than me. Not now what I was. I was 265 when I pulled him. He weighs 365. So I mean, and the guy's Samoan and he's got all the genetics as far as the power goes. You know what I mean? The guy's built for power. So
record in grip strength or something like that. Yeah.
So he's got records in grip strength, the whole nine. So I mean, don't get me wrong. When I said you're big, but I've beaten bigger, that's what I meant, is literally him. Mm-hmm. As far as technique goes, it's scarier for me to pull a guy that is more technical than raw power. I like pulling guys that are really, really strong that don't have a whole lot of technique, because I'll dismantle you like you're not even there. Yeah, I love that. Like, seriously. And Alan, we've only ever pulled on a practice table, but I mean, you've got a ton of raw power, and I love dismantling that. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of my thing.
I know that's what I'm working on. I know what I am.
Yeah. So, we've got a guy, there's a kid that just joined our team. He's 16 years old, and he's literally the strongest teen in America at that age. He just came back from a competition. He was repping 600-pound deadlifts, all kinds of shit like that. The guy's 6'3", 300 pounds lean.
Ooh.
Okay. And I mean, yeah, lean. And he's 16 years old. Okay. Inside, I'm not touching that kid. He puts his frame behind it, and I put my frame behind it, and I'm going that way. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Yesterday, he was doing side pressure for fun. He's brand new. He was doing side pressure for fun at 150 pounds for fun. Okay. Wow. So the kid is unbelievably strong, but that's the access. So what am I teaching him? Shore that up. Because if you can shore that up to where Levi is, you're instantly going to be on the rankings list. So
I tell you what, a lot of people don't know this about me, and it's been a while since I've actually pulled with y'all boys. TJ, we've never gripped up the left or right before. Al, and I think it's been half a year since we've ever even hung out and practiced and all that. I'd say.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while, but my weapon is not so much the bicep, the lat, a lot of what people see. It's actually my hand.
Yeah, I was
My
gonna say right there.
my hand itself. I mean, you do got a big hand. That's what people say. But my hand itself is what accesses everything I have.
Yeah, and
My
that's the way it should be.
Bryce, you win matches. I wouldn't think you'd win off your speed too. Your speed is phenomenal, and that's I think that's a big
Yep.
advantage you have
speed
too.
day has been a saint to me. It's been one of the more important things because you're always hitting to get somewhere first. If you're first, you're already way ahead of your guy.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Bryce, you and I had that little practice super match at Hauser's that time, and I was sick and I wasn't ready. It was on the spot call, but when I pulled you, I was like, "Fucker's fast." Fucker's
Yeah.
so fast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And I mean, and
that
that's
was 10 months ago.
and that's the thing.
Hey,
That's the thing. Like speed, versatility. Your press is greased, and I mean your finishing press, not your starting press. Your finishing press is greased. Like you could see it. You are instantaneous. As soon as that hand crosses center, you're going for a press. It's just instinctual for you. You're not even thinking about it. It's just there. That's good. That's real good. It shows a lot of great instincts, a lot of great mobility on the table, good movement. All of those things could be detrimental to me. If I take your hand, you're in for a long day. If I don't, it's
Agreed.
going to be over pretty quick.
I think Bryce has got to hit. I mean, I'm not trying. I'm trying to. I'm biased.
It's no secret, Alan. It's no secret how to beat me. It's no secret how to beat him. It's
going to be very interesting where it goes if he gets in the hand. In my opinion.
Yeah. If I get a stop that's relatively high, right? Because if I'm out here and he presses me, it's over. But if I get a stop and it's relatively high, it's going to be a long day. Now, whether or not he can finish me from there, if he can, congratulations. I mean, seriously, congratulations. If I get a stop up here and I've got your hand and you still finish me, hats off to you, young man, because that does not happen very often.
You think top on top
match? We don't look forward to matchups like y'all because we have to really be on our game. Not that we take any matches off, but we really have to be on our game, watching your elbows, watching the starts, because both of you are thinking the whole time. So it's like y'all are a matchup that I wouldn't volunteer to ref. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, who wants to? I'm probably gonna sit this one out. I'll go to the AM table for a little bit. You know what I mean? This isn't one.
Yeah. and I know what you were searching for there. You think you want to hunt to see what lane you think I think you're better in, or that you have a better chance in. Honestly, man, it's gonna be. I don't know how good your top roll is. Obviously, you're strong. There's no doubt about that. Obviously, you're strong. I don't fear top rolls. I don't really fear hook. I fear. Well, I should say I'm cautious of speed and shoulder commitment. And yes, I have taken away your press off the start for obvious reasons. I already told you why, and we agreed to that. And I appreciate the respect for that. I'm hoping that if I do pull off a win, it's dominant enough that you leave the table going, yeah, the press wouldn't have saved me. I'm hoping that if you win, it's dominant enough that I don't turn around and go, well, if he did go for the press, I know how to stop a press. You know what I mean? Like, I'm hoping that there's enough of either a technique or strength gap there that either one of us don't have any more questions about right now where we stand. Because if we're talking in the future, Bryce, there's literally zero question in my mind that there's going to come a point where I won't be able to touch you. Like, seriously, there's zero question in my mind, because your trajectory is like this and mine's going to be kind of like this just because of age, right? It's just, that's just human nature.
He's got a lot more ceiling than you and I do. His ceiling is much higher than you.
Yeah, he's got a lot more time than me and you do, right? So like his trajectory is going to be like this, whereas me and you kind of like this. And don't get me wrong, I'm happy with this at 45 years old. You know what I mean? Like, just give me that. Cool. So right now might be the perfect time for us to pull. You're really hungry, up and coming. I've kind of made a reputation, but I'm still relatively nothing. You know what I mean? As far as that goes. So it might be something that is great. I think it's going to be a fantastic experience for both of us, because you are really explosive. You quite possibly are the most explosive guy that I've faced to date, except for maybe Robert Plyler. Robert Plyler's fast, and I faced him.
Left. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you
Robert
him
Plyler.
Right. Is that what you told me?
I've pulled him left-handed too, but in competition, I've pulled him only right.
Right.
But his speed is the same. His strength is a lot higher on the left.
That left is a bad left boy.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, and he did. He snuck out a pin on me, even with his right, because I was, you know, I was just hitting high, and he went underneath me, but it was enough that he caught just enough that he was able to sneak me down to the pad before I could pull out.
Now let me ask you this, Ted: how do you see Bryce comparable to Nelly? Because I see some similarities in Bryce and Nelly.
I think they're built very similar. Nelly's got a bigger frame. I think Nelly hits in a much different lane than Bryce does, typically speaking. Obviously, Bryce has got options, so does Nelly. But as far as like typical, they're ace. They hit in different lanes. Nelly, I pulled him recently. Nelly's lane right now is something for me that it's very interesting. It really is. His angle is very interesting. We made it a match. He wound up getting the better of me, but I'm also beat up. So, I mean, I'm okay with that. But I mean, we made it a match. It was a far better match than it was in September. But I mean, I know he can't touch you. He told me he can't touch you. But again, it's a matter of it's a matter of hand, man. It really is. It's just styles. Because again, in practice, I'm not hitting the way I do in a competition. I'm not hitting for the vectors. I'm not fucking you over in the strap. I'm not doing everything that I possibly can to win. In practice, I'm usually the guy that just sits there, kind of lets you initiate, and I try to stop you statically and then pull through a bad spot. I literally pull like Devin does on the practice table. Like, you know, I act like, even though I'm a weaker guy, I act like I'm the stronger guy and try to stop you. Because
you like Jerry Carteret and stick your tongue out and everything, go in for the flop.
Have I done that? I've stuck out my tongue. I was like, I don't know. I haven't seen that.
That needs to happen for sure. The tournament. I was sitting in the corner
right now to kind of get a quick one in tonight, but you know, folks that's watching, you know, and we didn't have a high view count tonight, but I've kept it where folks can watch it at any point. This is becoming the match of the day at Fall Brawl. Denton, North Carolina, October 26th, being hosted by Team Savage and J Visual and Mirror Finish. Look, whatever you're doing October 26th, be in Denton. Be there. Come watch these two. What match number are y'all? Do y'all know off the top of your head?
Number two.
So y'all are the second match, and then you both have a left-handed match as well later that day.
Yeah, and I like it because it's spaced out, so it's going to be good. The one thing I will say as far as talking shit, Alan, because I know you want talking shit. I know you do. If you think you're just going to hook me, congratulations, because that's probably the hardest friggin' thing to do to me is to hook me.
I think when it comes down to it, my cup's going to be too strong for your pronation, your back pressure, your wrist, anything you got. I just think I can contain. And with containment unlocks everything. And I think the horsepower difference between us just ends that. So it's a battle of who can, if I can contain or if you can break out. And if you can break out, I think it's okay. It's different. But if I can contain off the go, I don't really see much happening. And that's just through my honest opinions. That's through me pulling people. That's the judging off of course, matches are different and styles are different. But that's me judging off of Logan, Nelly, people that you pull, Levi. I've watched some stuff.
Yeah, I'd be really careful talking about Logan, though. I mean, that was a really bad day for me.
Yeah.
And no, it really was. And you got to remember, round 3, I literally stopped the dude, palm up on my bicep, and held him. So that showed my power was there. It just, I wasn't there. You get what I'm saying? Like, everybody has a bad day.
I don't think Logan and Bryce are comparable, though. I don't think you compare the two. They're very, very,
no. But I mean, yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I mentally just was not. Unfortunately, it really is, because I didn't give Logan the match that he deserved. I really didn't, and that's the way I look at it. It isn't that I'm talking shit on Logan or trying to take away anything that he did, because he still won. I'm pissed off at myself because I didn't give him the match that he deserved. win, lose, or draw. I didn't give him the match that he deserved. And that pisses me off more than anything.
You don't think that'll happen with ours, do you?
I don't. I'm coming into it with a much different mindset. My taper is going to be better. I don't have 5 matches that I've got to cheer for my teammates beforehand. So my adrenaline won't be up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. That was really rough for me. That was the first time I've ever had to do that, where I was a team captain, a coach, this, a that 5 times in a row. And then, oh yeah, I got to put my elbow on the table now. So, you know what I mean? My adrenaline was so far just gone that it really did make it very, when I put my elbow down and I felt his side pressure, which isn't that bad. But when I felt the side pressure, I was just, my elbow was like rubber. It was like a full on pump that you just did a workout and you're done. And then you're like, oh shit, I still got to do 10 more reps. That's how bad it felt. It was just, I wasn't there. I just wasn't there.
Yeah.
So,
well, we're going to talk more about this matchup, and I want to talk more about, with Ted and John's lift and yours and Trey's lift, especially yours and Trey's lift, Bryce, because I think that's enough. You have got your day cut out, Bryce. I'm just going to say that.
I got it.
Right and left, you have got your day cut out.
yeah, because Trey's left.
I hope somebody's driving you back to West Virginia afterwards. Win or lose, I hope you've got a ride back to West Virginia.
Well, hey, listen, the after pull-in is going to be a fucking, the after pull-in is going to put us all in the fucking hospital. We're all going to be sitting like this, so I mean, yeah, it's
everybody's going to want to make up with their egos on the after pulls, that's for sure. But fellas, appreciate y'all hopping on tonight. Bryce, thanks for getting on after work, bud. I know me and Ted had a much easier day than you did today, but
yeah, for sure.
Appreciate you getting on, and fellas, look, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank y'all for getting on. Y'all, talk to y'all later this week.
Just have dreams about it, Bryce. Have dreams about it.
Once again, check out Unapologetic Patriots website. Get on it.